Hi guys, this is Creative Cuts, a channel where I build, paint and create things. In today's video I'm going to convert or kitbash a Forge Fiend to complete a project I started over a year ago. Whilst building a Chaos Space Marine army, I purchased two Forge Fiend kits, one for a Forge Fiend and one for a Mauler Fiend. Both can be built out of the same kit. However, what quickly became apparent is that because you have the option to build both models from the same kit, there are a lot of leftover parts, whichever kit you build. I needed no persuasion to let my creative juices flow and try some truly crazy conversions. This is the Mauler Fiend proxy model that I built with a combination of different models, and was the first time I had really attempted something this ambitious. In hindsight, I'll probably repaint this so it matches some of the other models I have now. But if you want to learn more about what went into this model, you can watch the video where I go into that in a bit more detail. Link above. So to begin with this new build, I set about clipping out some of the leftover parts and building up a pile of bits to work with. I had a leftover fetid bloat drone that I'd picked up on eBay for pretty cheap, some legs from a defiler, and half a Tyrannid Trigon. Again, picked up for cheap on eBay. And with very little work, I had a decent little selection of bits to work with to begin my quest. I had some legs with some chaos markings on the armour, and with a few tactical cuts here and there, I was able to begin to imagine what this monstrosity could become. I find that using some blue tack to temporarily fix the parts into place is a great way of dry fitting the parts together without committing fully. I played around with all kinds of options, holding different parts in place to try to get a pose and shape that I was happy with. Some were more successful than others. But using the blue tack allowed me to reposition parts at will. As things began to take shape, I started to play around with the other parts, as sometimes moving to a different area and solving that problem can inform a previous decision. A bit of trimming and fine-tuning helped everything fit together nicely. A rotary tool like this Dremel is fantastic. With many different attachments, it really allows you to cut, sand or drill into all kinds of awkward places. This is not to say that I don't also use hand tools. Little sanding sticks and small hand files are also a big part of my selection of tools when getting everything to fit together. Slowly I finalised my decisions by committing and gluing everything together. A few notches here and there allowed me to add some extra pieces one by one. I needed some shoulder pads, so I set about making some from these bottle tops that I'd saved. And here is one of my favourite attachments for my Dremel, which is kind of a drill with teeth halfway up. I'm not sure what its official name is, but let me know in the comments if you know. But it allows me to use my Dremel almost as a scroll saw, making quite delicate cuts with pretty good precision. It chews through thin plastic like butter. I needed some spikes and found some on these Tyrannid arms that were about the right size. Attachments like these are also really useful for removing detailed areas where a hand file, for example, could not reach. A gentle touch here and there allows you to remove as much material as needed. I added some more spikes and blades because chaos. I found these really cool horns I had left over from a hell brute, I think, but I could see that there were going to be a few gaps that needed to be filled in. Another bit of a model, which I used for my converted Mauler Fiend that I showed you at the beginning of the video, was the leftovers of this Skaven Hell Pit abomination. I also gave everything a quick coat of primer, as things were getting a little colourful and difficult to see together, if that makes sense. Then I grabbed some green stuff. This 2-part putty is great for converting, but it's not always the easiest material to work with. It has quite a sticky, gummy kind of consistency that takes a little practice to get used to working with. But once you get the hang of it, it really allows you to make some pretty cool organic shapes. Using small little blobs and gently working these into shape with a selection of sculpting tools, I'm able to fill in the missing parts of the model. I also recently picked up some of these tube and pipe makers from Green Stuff World, and in all honesty, I thought these were a bit gimmicky, I guess, but I always have a need for pipes and stuff in my build, so I thought why not, I'd give it a go. In short, they do exactly what you expect. They make producing little pipes super easy. Very impressed. I carefully attached these pipes onto the model to connect various parts together. Great little details for very little effort. Sometimes to join everything together I needed larger bits of green stuff and sculpting the existing patterns into it. These ball burnishing tools are great for adding little details and come in a range of sizes depending on your needs. All green stuff together and gaps joined, I'm really looking forward to getting some paint onto this bad boy. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see me do a video where I go into sculpting with green stuff in a bit more detail. While the green stuff hardened, I started work on a base. Some old cork tiles were a great place to begin. Now, to match the rest of my army, I used the same cosmic gold over black method to create a kind of black gold flip and give the black of my Black Legion army some more life. I also really enjoyed the same colour scheme I came up from my previous video for my converted Gene Stealer, link above if you want to watch that. But it basically starts with a pale yellow base, in this case from Monument Hobbies. Amazing paint, by the way, could also highly recommend. I also blocked in some of the other colours, including undercoating all the gold trim in brown first. This gives the subsequent layer of gold on top a level of warmth that, if it was straight gold, then it would be a little more flat or lifeless. Obviously this takes more time, but worth it in my opinion. Now imagine painting over 6,000 points of chaos like this, and you'll know the punishment of never-ending trim, but that's all part of the fun, right? Once dry, I knocked up a little oil wash, just brown and black oil paint and a little thinner. Super simple, and since I started using oil washes in my miniature painting, I've never really used the typical acrylic washes like Agrex Earthshade or Nuln Oil again. If you haven't tried oil washes, then give it a go. You'll see the massive difference in result. I just layer this wash quite quickly, as I can always remove pigment with a little more white spirit. Once dry, I then went back over some of the more pronounced areas to pick them back out and left more wash in the recesses. On top of this, I came in with thin layers of Nighthaunt Gloom. This, when thinned, is quite a translucent paint and lets the pale yellow from underneath show through, giving a nice organic look. I then re-picked out the gold, just to brighten it up a little after the dark oil wash. I picked out the edges, or the more pronounced metal parts, with some silver. I dotted the eyes in a bold pyrrole red, again from Monument, the brightest red I've found yet. Then sprayed a little of this with an airbrush just to get a bit of a glow going. Now it was mostly painted, I could attach it to the base and build that up a bit. With some PVA I fixed little bits of wire, painted gold to act as spent bullet casings. I added some little toothpicks for wooden posts, and then used some mini barbed wire to create some visual interest on the base. And there we go, pretty close to finishing, and I'm really happy with the results. I may go back and refine the paint job a little down the line, work on a few details here and there, but for now it's more than playable and looks great in my opinion. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. You can support the channel or stay up to date with all the latest videos by subscribing. Leave a like and maybe share it with a friend who might find it interesting. Now, I love converting models as it gives you a really unique feel to your models. Sure, the process can be a little complex at first, but I urge you all to let your minds run wild and have a go at combining different models. Who knows what crazy concoction you might come up with. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Enjoy.